No, it doesn't. Missed something. I don't know if you noticed up here, but in our div where our conversation is, we don't actually have anything. So let's put the conversation in there. There it is. Okay, I'll show you what I did here. Basically, we're just going to take the variable conversation. We're going to replace all line feeds with breaks so that it'll format properly, and that's what we get. Now let's check it on our other chat that we've got going here. See how it looks. Okay. And so it appears to have the conversation going here. Let me okay, and so you can see we've got a fully functional chat application. The only downside is for this guy back here to get what I just sent, he has to come in and he has to hit reload, and he'll get the conversation, and then he might add to it. And it'll get added to his window, but this guy over here, it does not get added to his window until he hits reload. Okay? So you can see this is fully functional chat application. It only uses HTML, and it is 34 lines long. Okay? So what we want to do next is we want to enhance this with some AJAX functionality, so that these refreshes or these changes in the conversation will happen automatically. Okay, so let's go to the AJAX, the prototype site. I'm loading that up here. I'll bring up my window here. What we're going to use is remember in our last session we dealt with AJAX Updater, and this session we're going to use the AJAX Periodical Updater. And basically all it requires is a container. Where do I want to send my update to, and the URL, where am I going to get my update from? And that's basically all we're going to use, is those two features in it. Alright, so let's initially let's add our prototype library to our page. We're going to put that right after our style. And so we got a script tag that basically goes to syspublic URL, which is the domain name of our website, and it will go in and it will load prototype.js. Okay, so that's our step one. We'll get our prototype library loaded. Then we will create our script that's going to do all the work. And I'll paste that in here, and then I'll try to attempt to describe what's happening here. Okay, remember our first line is a window.onload equals JS init. That means when everything loads up, we're going to run a function called JS init. Just for review, some of you may be used to doing something like this. Where you put the onload right here in the body tag. That's considered obtrusive JavaScript, and we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to keep all of our JavaScript separate from our HTML elements, and so that's why we do the onload event here instead of in line with the tag. Okay, so what happens when the window loads? We're going to run JS init. And before I explain what that does, let's just show that it does work. And we'll just say JS init. What I've done here is just put an alert there, and we should see that when the window loads, we get an alert that says JS init. Let's try it. And there it is. There's my alert. So we now have a handle that we can use, and we can start having functionality added. So here's our periodical updater, and there are two arguments. There's conversation, and what that is that's the div that's going to get updated, and then we have our URL, and our URL will be check for new dialog. And so we just use a get link and a Stephen get link to get the link to check for new dialog. Now, check for new dialog is an overlay that we'll have to create down here. Okay, so what we want to have happen in our check for new dialog is basically we just want to send back the conversation as it is right now. So let me get the code I've already written for that and paste it in. Okay, so here's what's going to happen in check for new dialog. It's going to copy conversation.txt to message, and it's going to take message, it's going to replace all line feeds with breaks, and then it's going to just push that out to the AJAX. Okay. So let's see if that works. We'll reload our page here, and we will reload our page here. And what we should be able to do, if things work well, hopefully they do, we should say, are you still online? And when I say comment, I will see the comment in my window over here, but what I should see is behind it, I should see the comment. So let's try it. Okay, that works. And look behind there. It did the automatically added the comment to that section. Okay? Let's try it this way. And over here, and automatically added it there. So it did its work. Now, just for one additional nicety, we're going to add some of the stuff we did in the first session to this. If you notice, when I add a comment, the whole page is reloading. So if you can see that. Ready, click, and the whole page reloads to do that. So we want to take and add some AJAX so that that doesn't have to happen. So I'll do this fairly quickly. Because we covered this in the last session. We want to go up to our page here. And then let's just kind of go through what we're doing here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab all of the forms on this page. We're going to tell them, okay, instead of doing your normal submission, we want you to do AJAX. Okay? And so that's what we went through this in the first webcast. And so what do AJAX is going to do is it's going to create an updater where it's going to update conversation with whatever comes from the URL of the form. Okay? And I did add one other thing at the end here. It's an on success, and that basically says, okay, when this AJAX completes, we just want to take the my comment and we want to set its value to empty. Alright, so that's basically all I'm going to be doing here with the do AJAX. Okay, and if you remember right, once we do a AJAX, we have to add some special things to the overlay, because at the end of an overlay normally we go to the page, but if it's AJAX we don't want to go to the page, we want to just return the particular div that it's asking for. And to do that we have this mechanism we set up where we get a